Right now, the sun is doing something you never think about. It's holding you in place. Not with a rope, not with a hand. With gravity, reaching across 93 million miles of empty space to keep the entire Earth swinging in a gentle circle. You don't feel it. You never have. But it's the strongest leash in the solar system, and it has never once let go. So let's ask a dangerous little question. What if for exactly 24 hours the sun simply vanished? Not exploded, not burned out, just gone. 1 second it's there, the next second there's nothing where it used to be. What happens to us? And could we survive a single day without the one star our entire planet is built around? Let's start with the strangest part. If the sun disappeared this very instant, you wouldn't know for 8 minutes and 20 seconds. That's how long sunlight takes to travel from the sun to your eyes. So even after the sun is gone, its light is still on the way. Already in flight, still crossing space toward you. For those 8 minutes, the sky would look completely normal. Birds would sing, traffic would move. Nobody on Earth would have any idea that the star at the center of everything had already ceased to exist. And here's the eerie part. Gravity travels at the same speed as light. So for those same 8 minutes, Earth would keep curving along its orbit as if nothing had changed, still being pulled toward a sun that isn't there anymore. We'd be circling a ghost. Then, 8 minutes and 20 seconds later, everything changes at once. The sky goes black. Not sunset black, instant black. The sun doesn't dip below the horizon, it just switches off, mid-afternoon, mid-sentence, mid-heartbeat. And in the very same instant, Earth stops turning in a circle. With no gravity holding us in orbit, our planet does exactly what a stone does when you let go of a sling. It flies off in a straight line, sailing into deep space at around 67,000 miles per hour. We don't fall, we don't get flung around, we simply stop curving and start drifting, silent and cold, into the dark. Now you might expect the temperature to crash instantly. It doesn't. And this is one of the most surprising things about our planet. Earth is a giant, warm, wet ball with an atmosphere and oceans that hold onto heat with incredible stubbornness. In the first few hours without sunlight, the average temperature barely moves. By the end of the first day, it might drop only a handful of degrees. If the sun came back after 24 hours, our version of the story, most of us would survive that part just fine. The planet has enough stored warmth to coast through a single day in the dark. But surviving the cold is not the same as surviving the day, because the real danger isn't temperature. It's everything the sun quietly runs while you're not looking. Start with plants. Every green leaf on Earth is a tiny solar-powered machine, turning sunlight into sugar through photosynthesis. The moment the light disappears, that machine shuts off. For 24 hours, it wouldn't matter much. Plants can pause and wait. But it's a reminder of something we forget. Almost all the food you have ever eaten began as sunlight caught by a leaf. Take away the sun for good, and the entire food chain starts to unravel from the bottom up. For one day, though, the leaves just wait in the dark, holding their breath. Now look up. With the sun gone, the daytime sky becomes something no human has ever truly seen. Stars in the middle of the afternoon. The whole band of the Milky Way stretched overhead at noon, brighter and sharper than any night you've ever known, because there's no sunlight scattering through the atmosphere to wash it out. For a few strange, beautiful hours, the entire planet would be under one endless, silent, star-filled night. It might be the most breathtaking view in human history, and also the most terrifying, because everyone would know exactly what it means. Meanwhile, we're not alone in the dark. The other planets go rogue too. Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Every world in the solar system is held by the same invisible leash we are. The instant the sun vanishes, they all fly off in straight lines, each one heading in whatever direction it happened to be moving. The solar system doesn't collapse. It scatters. 8 orbiting worlds become 8 lonely travelers, drifting apart forever. And the moon barely notices. It was never really orbiting the sun directly, it was orbiting us. So the moon stays right where it belongs, faithfully circling the earth as we both go tumbling off into the void together. At least we wouldn't be completely alone out there. Here's a question that sounds simple but isn't. Which way would Earth fly? The answer is a perfect straight line aimed exactly along the direction we were traveling at the moment the sun vanished. Think of a runner sprinting around a circular track who suddenly has the ground disappear beneath their feet. They don't curve. They shoot straight off the edge, following the last direction they were pointed. That's Earth. Whatever slice of our orbit we happen to be on becomes the arrow that decides our path through the galaxy. But in our story, the sun comes back after 24 hours. So what happens when it reappears? This is where it gets tricky. During that missing day, Earth has been flying in a straight line, drifting away from where it should be. When the sun blinks back into existence, its gravity grabs us again instantly. But we're not in the right place anymore. We've been knocked off our perfect circle. Instead of a smooth, gentle orbit, Earth would settle into a new, slightly lopsided path. A little closer here, a little farther there. The seasons might shift. The length of the year might change just a little. One missing day would leave a fingerprint on our orbit that lasts for the rest of time. And through all of this, the darkness, the cold creeping in, the stars burning at noon, the strangest thing might be how quiet it would be. No dramatic explosions. No sound at all, because space carries no sound. Just a planet full of people, standing under an afternoon full of stars, feeling the temperature slowly begin to fall, waiting to see if the light comes back. So could we survive it? For 24 hours, honestly, probably yes. The oceans would hold their warmth, the air would stay breathable, plants would pause but not die. Most of us would make it through one long, dark, unforgettable day. But it would be the most frightening day in human history, because for the first time, everyone alive would understand, not as a fact in a textbook, but deep in their bones, just how completely our lives depend on that one ordinary star we take for granted every single morning. The sun doesn't just light your room, it holds your planet, it steers your orbit, it feeds every living thing, it draws the line your world travels through the galaxy. And it has been doing all of that, quietly, for 4.5 billion years. Without asking for a moment of your attention. So tomorrow morning, when the light comes through your window, like it always does, maybe pause for just 1 second. Because somewhere out there, 93 million miles away, a star is holding you in place, and it has never, not once, let go. If this made you look at the sky a little differently, you already know what to do. Subscribe to Curio Minds and stay curious.